Have you noticed that every time you try to change your life, nothing truly changes? It is only when you stop interfering, stop trying to fix yourself, that transformation begins on its own. Doing nothing is not laziness. It is the highest form of intelligence. In this message, I will show you how the art of doing nothing can dissolve your anxiety, your restlessness, your need to always become someone. You will learn what happens when you allow life to flow through you instead of forcing it. You will see that by doing nothing, everything you have been seeking begins to appear: peace, clarity, love. You have tried doing everything. Now, for the first time, let us try nothing. I know your struggle, from morning till night, a race without a finish line, always improving, always planning, always becoming, but still an emptiness remains. Society has hypnotized you that you must always be productive, that stillness is failure. I am here to tell you this is the greatest lie ever told. The most revolutionary act in today's world is to sit silently and allow yourself to be. In this hour together, I will take you into the beauty of nothingness, not as an idea, but as an experience. We will look at why the mind fears silence, why action has become an addiction, and how stillness can awaken the deepest joy within you. I will guide you through simple understandings that can change the way you live, the way you love, the way you see yourself. By the end, you will not only understand doing nothing, you will taste it. And once you taste it, you will never wish to go back to the madness of doing. You see, before we can understand the power of doing nothing, we must first understand the madness of doing. You've been trained since childhood that to exist, you must be useful. From the very first day, someone whispered into your ear, "Do something with your life." And so you began to run. You didn't even know where you were going, but the crowd was moving and you were afraid to stand still. Here's something most people completely miss. You don't run because you love the race, you run because you're afraid of stopping. When you stop, silence appears, and silence is frightening, because in silence you meet yourself. The mind will do anything to avoid that meeting. It invents projects, dreams, goals, improvements. It says, keep moving or you'll fall behind. But behind what? There is no finish line. There's only the endless treadmill of becoming. Have you noticed that when you stop working for a moment, guilt arrives, that uneasy feeling that whispers you should be doing something? That's not awareness speaking, that's conditioning. Society has built temples to busyness and calls them productivity. The one who sits quietly is labeled lazy. The one who destroys his health chasing success is called driven. What a strange world we have created, where madness wears a medal. Let me tell you a small story. Once there was a man who looked into a river and saw his reflection, but when he moved to catch it, the reflection broke. He thought the river was running away from him, so he began to chase it faster, harder, splashing, falling, shouting. Yet the more he ran, the further his reflection seemed to go. Exhausted, he finally stopped. And at that moment, the river became calm, and there he was again, perfectly reflected. The reflection was never lost. It only disappeared because of his own disturbance. This is how you live. You're chasing your own reflection, your peace, your happiness, your worth, stirring the waters of life until you can't see your own face. The more you try to catch peace, the more ripples you create. When you stop, clarity returns on its own. Doing has become your drug. You inject it daily to avoid withdrawal from yourself. You open your phone, you plan tomorrow, you polish yesterday. Anything but be here. You are afraid that if you stop, life will collapse. But look around, life never asked for your help. The trees grow without your permission. The sun rises on schedule, not on your calendar. Life doesn't need your doing, it needs your being. When I say doing nothing, I'm not telling you to abandon action. I'm asking you to drop the inner tension that makes every action a struggle. Action born of fear is violence. Action born of being is grace. You can still cook, walk, speak, but without the fever of becoming. That's the beauty of doing nothing while everything happens through you. And here's the paradox. The moment you stop trying to prove your existence, existence begins to express itself through you. Then work becomes play, movement becomes dance, and life flows without resistance. So let this be the first step to see clearly the insanity of endless doing. Awareness begins with recognition. See the hamster wheel for what it is, and already you are outside of it. Here's something most people completely miss. The greatest power in the universe moves through stillness, not through struggle. Look at existence. The stars are not in a hurry. The oceans do not rush. The flowers do not bloom with anxiety. And yet everything happens on time. The universe knows the secret of doing nothing, but you, the human being, have forgotten it completely. You have been taught to control everything, to master everything, to achieve every single goal, as if life is some exam you must pass. And so your whole being has become tight, contracted, tense. You wake up already tired, because even in sleep, your mind continues to run. You have never truly paused, never truly rested. I am not talking about sleep. Even in sleep you are dreaming, still doing, still projecting, still chasing. I am talking about the sacred pause, that single moment when you do absolutely nothing and allow life to breathe through you. Stopping is not weakness. It is courage, the rarest kind of courage. It takes far more strength to stop than to keep running. The runner moves because of fear. The one who stops moves because of trust. When you stop, you begin to see the inner storm you have been carrying. You will see how restless your mind truly is, how it jumps from one worry to another, one desire to another, never satisfied, never silent. And this sight can be uncomfortable, even painful, because for the first time, there is no distraction, no escape. The silence will confront you like a mirror, showing every corner you tried to hide from yourself. But this is the beginning of real transformation. In silence, you will realize that all the noise you thought was life, the worries, the ambitions, the endless plans, was just the chatter of the frightened mind. The mind is like a monkey, swinging from branch to branch, terrified that if it lets go, it will fall into emptiness. But if you can simply watch the monkey without judging, without controlling, something extraordinary happens. The watching itself becomes a light, and under that light, the mind begins to slow down on its own. There is an ancient image. I love the pond and the moon. When the pond is disturbed, when waves are there, the moon's reflection shatters into 1,000 pieces. It looks as though the moon has broken, but it is not the moon that broke. It is only the water that trembled. The moment the pond becomes still, the reflection becomes whole again. Your consciousness is that pond. The moon is truth. The more you shake, the more fragmented truth appears. The moment you stop, truth returns as one seamless reflection. To stop is to surrender to this natural intelligence. You are not adding anything to life. You are only allowing life to reveal what it already is. You have believed that by doing more, you can create peace. But peace is not created, it is uncovered. It was always there, hidden beneath the noise. The sacred pause is the art of uncovering what never left you. Now, don't mistake stopping for laziness. Laziness is heavy, it is dull. Stopping is vibrant, alive. In laziness, you fall asleep. In stopping, you wake up. The lazy man sleeps to escape. The awakened one stops to see. There is an enormous difference. When you stop consciously, fully aware, you discover that stopping is not an end. It is the beginning of everything real. Try this. Just sit quietly for a few minutes. Don't even call it meditation, because then the mind will make it a new project, another doing. Simply sit, breathe, and let whatever happens happen. Thoughts will come, let them come. Emotions may arise, let them pass. Do not interfere. Do not improve. Do not analyze. Just remain a witness. At first, it will feel strange, because you have lived only in movement. But slowly, a sweetness will descend, a silence that is not empty, but full. You will feel a deep contentment, as if you have returned home after lifetimes of wandering. Once you taste this stillness, something beautiful begins to grow, not because you made it grow, but because you stopped disturbing it. Just like when you stop stirring muddy water, the mud settles and the water clears by itself. Life knows how to heal, how to balance, how to flow. It was your interference that made it cloudy. Now you step aside, and that is the secret. You do not find peace by doing something to get it. You find peace when you stop doing the things that destroy it. What I am about to share might seem strange to the modern mind, because the modern mind has been trained to believe that energy only comes from activity, that movement equals vitality, that stillness equals death. But the truth is the opposite. Real energy is born in silence. When you do nothing, energy doesn't vanish, it returns home. It stops being scattered in 1,000 directions and gathers like sunlight through a magnifying glass. In that gathering, in that centering, you begin to feel something alive, luminous, vibrant, a hum that has always been there beneath the noise. Most people never feel it because they are too busy wasting their life force on constant motion, constant worry, constant becoming. Think of your being as a lake fed by many small streams. Every thought you chase, every fear you feed, every ambition you cling to is another crack where your energy leaks out. You wake up already tired, not because you worked too hard, but because your energy has been leaking through all the tiny holes your mind has drilled in you. The moment you become still, those leaks begin to seal. The lake starts to fill again. Slowly the waters rise, the surface shines, and you can feel the quiet power of existence pulsing through you. You are no longer pushing against life. Life is moving through you. The world celebrates the worker, the achiever, the one who climbs and fights and conquers. But the greatest power is in the one who rests inside himself and lets the universe act through him. It's like an archer who draws his bow but never tenses, who knows that the arrow finds its mark only when his hand is steady, his breath calm, his heart silent. Or the Buddha under the tree, he didn't run across the world searching for enlightenment. He simply sat a day. He stopped. And by doing nothing, everything unfolded. The sky opened. The mind dissolved. And awakening happened on its own. No one can force a flower to bloom. No one can order love to appear. No one can command truth to come. They arrive when the conditions are still, when the soil is ready, when the gardener no longer interferes. In your stillness, you will notice a new kind of action beginning to happen. It is not the action of will, but of grace. You might find yourself speaking words you didn't plan, creating beauty you didn't imagine, solving problems you didn't even think about. This is not magic, it is natural. When you stop trying to control energy, energy starts to serve you. When you stop trying to direct the river carries you effortlessly to the ocean. You see, meditation is not an escape from life. It is the highest use of life's energy. It's not about suppressing thought, but letting thought return to its source. Every breath you take in awareness brings energy back to its center. Every moment of silence renews you. You become a generator of peace rather than a consumer of chaos. Try it for yourself. Sit quietly for a few minutes and watch what happens. First, you'll feel restless. The mind will scream, the body will twitch. Stay still. Don't move. Don't fight. Let the restlessness dance. Soon, you'll feel the storm settling, the mind softening, the body melting into presence. Then suddenly, you'll sense a current flowing through you, a current that has nothing to do with effort. This is the energy of non-doing, pure, infinite, unconditioned. It was always there, waiting for you to stop disturbing it. When you taste this current, you will realize that all your life you've been trying to light the sun with a candle. You've been using effort to achieve what only surrender can reveal. In silence, energy becomes light, and light becomes awareness, and awareness becomes love. This is the alchemy of non-doing. It turns rest into power, emptiness into abundance, stillness into celebration. When you stop doing, you begin seeing, and once you begin to see clearly, a new intelligence is born, one that acts without effort, one that moves without motive, one that is as spontaneous as a bird taking flight, as natural as the morning sun rising without a single command. When the mind becomes silent, something extraordinary begins to happen. A deeper rhythm awakens, a rhythm that was always there, but lost beneath the noise of constant effort. You begin to sense that life doesn't need your management. It only needs your trust. There's an intelligence far greater than thought. And this intelligence begins to move through you when you are no longer busy trying to move the world. You discover action that has no actor behind it, movement without motive, doing without the doer. And this is what I call spontaneous living. You see, real action doesn't arise from plans or goals. Real action flowers out of awareness, out of presence. When you act with awareness, your doing becomes like breathing, effortless, natural, graceful. The tree doesn't prepare to grow, it simply grows. The river doesn't rehearse how to flow, it simply flows. Only man has made life complicated by asking how to live. And in the very question, he loses the simplicity of living itself. I have seen people write endless lists, set endless goals, draw endless maps, all trying to design life as if it were a business plan. And yet, the most beautiful moments in life, falling in love, laughter, creation, understanding, they never followed a plan. They happen. They always happen. The moment you drop into being, life begins to happen through you in the same way. Imagine a dancer lost in the dance. There comes a point when she is no longer moving to the music is moving her. There's no separation between her and the rhythm, no calculation, no hesitation, no self-consciousness. This is the state of being I am talking about. The dancer disappears, only the dance remains. The doer dissolves, only doing remains. When I say spontaneous living, I don't mean chaos. I mean harmony, a kind of order that arises naturally when you stop imposing control. The wind moves the tree. The tree doesn't resist. The clouds gather and rain. The sky doesn't complain. In this natural order, everything finds its perfect place. When you are silent, you become part of that order again. You no longer fight the current. You are the current. But the mind is afraid of this spontaneity. It wants a guarantee. It wants to know what will happen if it lets go. It says, if I stop planning, won't everything fall apart? The truth is, everything you think you're holding together is already being held by life. You're not the one keeping the planets in orbit. You're not the one making your heart beat. And yet you trust the universe to do those things perfectly. Can you not trust it to guide your small human moments as well? Once you experience this kind of intelligence, a new quality enters your life, a softness, a lightness, a beauty. You become like bamboo, bending in the wind, but never breaking. You act when action arises, and you rest when rest is needed. You don't push the river, you float with it. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying the unnecessary weight of control. A truly intelligent person is not the one who knows everything. He is the one who listens deeply to the silence within and allows life to speak through him. This is what I mean when I say life acts through you. You become an instrument, and the music that plays is beyond your imagination. It's not your melody, it's existence itself expressing its beauty through your being. And this is where all true creativity, all love, all compassion are born. When the mind is silent, you become a doorway. Through that doorway, the divine enters the world. Whether you paint, write, cook, garden, or simply breathe, it all becomes a form of prayer, a movement of grace. This effortless action, this harmony between silence and expression, is what I call the intelligence of being. It cannot be learned, but it can be remembered. It is not taught, but it can be felt. And when you live from this space, every ordinary moment becomes sacred. Every breath becomes a celebration. Every gesture carries the fragrance of awareness. This effortless action is what I call intelligence, not of the mind, but of existence itself. What I am saying now may sound simple, but it is the key that opens every door when you stop interfering. The river of life finds its own way. You don't have to force it. You don't have to plan its direction. You don't even have to understand it. The river has been flowing long before you were born, and it will continue to flow long after you are gone. When you fight the current, you grow tired, anxious, bitter. When you surrender, you discover that the same current carries you effortlessly. It's not that life begins to favor you, it's that you finally stop standing in its way. All resistance is tension. Every should that your mind whispers is a stone in your pocket while you're trying to swim. You carry so many stones, expectations, ambitions, fears, images of who you must be, and then you wonder why you feel so heavy. The moment you drop these stones, the current lifts you. Suddenly you realize you were never meant to struggle through existence. You were meant to flow with it. Look at water, so soft, yet it carves through mountains, so gentle, yet nothing can resist it. Lao Tzu was right. The soft conquers the hard. The flexible survives where the rigid breaks. The ego is rigid. It wants control. It wants certainty. It wants to be the captain of the ship. But existence laughs softly because there is no ship to steer and no destination to reach. Life is the ocean itself, vast, mysterious, alive. When you surrender to it, you are no longer the sailor, you are the sea. To flow with existence means to trust what comes and to trust what goes. You no longer divide life into good or bad, success or failure. You see that every moment, joy or sorrow, gain or loss, is part of one great dance. When you resist, you suffer, but when you surrender, even pain has a strange beauty. It becomes cleansing, transforming. It makes space for new growth. Have you ever watched a child learning to walk? At first he falls, he stumbles, he cries, but he doesn't give up. He doesn't make it a problem. He doesn't say, "I've failed." He just gets up and tries again, playing his way into walking. That's what flowing with life feels like. You stop taking everything so seriously. You fall, you rise, you laugh, You move with life, not against it. The greatest things in life, love, laughter, enlightenment, they all happen. They are never done. You can't make yourself fall in love. You can't make yourself laugh. You can't make yourself awaken. These things happen when you stop trying. Love blooms in the space between thoughts. Laughter bursts when effort drops. Awakening dawns in the stillness where doing ends. All that is beautiful comes as a gift when you are empty enough to receive it. People often ask me, Osho, if I surrender completely, won't I become passive? No passivity belongs to fear. Surrender belongs to trust. Passivity is dull. Surrender is alive. Passivity says, I will do nothing because I am helpless. Surrender says, I will do nothing because life knows better than me. One is resignation, the other is reverence. One closes the heart, the other opens it wide. And yes, surrender frightens the mind, because to the mind, surrender looks like death. The mind lives on control, on separation, on the illusion of I. When that illusion begins to dissolve, it trembles, it resists, it creates every excuse to keep itself alive. But if you can stay still long enough to watch that fear without moving, something magnificent happens. The mind's noise begins to fade like an echo disappearing into distance. You don't die, the false dies. What remains is vast, silent, and immensely alive. When you flow with existence, there is no destination, only direction. No future, only presence. And in that presence, you discover that life is not a problem to be solved, it's a mystery to be lived. You laugh more easily, you forgive more easily, you love more easily, because you are no longer protecting an image. You are transparent. You are like water reflecting everything, holding nothing. So let this be your meditation. Stop swimming upstream. Stop pushing against life. Wherever the river takes you, say yes. Whether it brings you to sunlight or storm, say yes. Whether it carries you into laughter or loneliness, say yes. Every yes dissolves a little bit of the old self. Every yes brings you closer to the source. This is how you become free, not by conquering life, but by joining it. But this surrender frightens the mind. It feels like death. So let us face that fear and see what truly dies when you stop. The fear of doing nothing is not really the fear of silence. It is the fear of disappearing. Somewhere deep inside, the ego knows that if you truly stop, it will no longer exist. The I, the doer, the controller, the one who says, I am achieving, I am improving, I am becoming, depends on constant movement for its survival. The moment you rest, the moment you stop asserting, it begins to tremble. It whispers, if you stop doing, you will vanish. And in a way, it is right. When you stop doing, when you rest completely in being, the false you dies. But that death is not an ending, it is a birth. It is the birth of your real self. The self that was hidden beneath layers of effort, masks, ambitions, and fears. You have been taught that to live is to keep acting, that to exist is to prove yourself again and again through your achievements, your relationships, your possessions, You have been taught that the more you do, the more you are. But being doesn't need any proof. Existence needs no certificate. The tree does not hold up a degree to show that it is a tree. The ocean doesn't show credentials to justify its waves. Only the human mind feels it must constantly advertise its importance to believe it's real. The moment you stop, that illusion begins to crumble, and that crumbling feels like death. Imagine a candle burning in a dark room. The flame dances beautifully, but it is also consuming the candle itself. The brighter it burns, the faster it disappears. This is the life of the doer. The more you burn with ambition, the faster you exhaust yourself. And one day, all that's left is smoke memories of what you did, what you owned, what you became. But when you allow the flame to melt completely, when you are not afraid to disappear, what remains is not darkness, it is light. The candle melts into the flame, the I dissolves into being, and the light continues without a source. That light is consciousness itself. I remember telling someone once that enlightenment is nothing but the death of everything false. He became frightened and said, "Then I don't want it." But that's the mind is speaking. The mind thinks it can exist forever. The truth is, you are not losing anything real when you drop the doer. You are only losing the dream of control, the illusion of separation, the heavy costume of personality you've been wearing for too long. Underneath, you remain lighter, freer, transparent. When the actor leaves the stage, the play ends, but the space of the theater remains. So yes, something dies when you stop, but what dies is only the noise. What remains is silence, and that silence is not empty. It is alive, radiant, overflowing. It has no center and no boundary. It is freedom itself. You realize that all along you were afraid of losing what you never truly had, a fragile identity made of thoughts, habits, and borrowed opinions. Once it's gone, there is immense relief, a great laughter, because you see that you were never the doer at all. The mind loves to say, "I did this," but look closely. Even your breathing, are you doing it? Your heartbeat, do you control it? Your thoughts arise and vanish without asking permission. The sun rises, the earth spins, the seasons turn. Who is doing all this? There is no separate doer anywhere. There is only doing an endless dance of energy, a spontaneous unfolding. You are not the author of life. You are one of its expressions. You are a wave in the ocean pretending to be separate. When the wave surrenders, it doesn't die, it becomes the ocean again. To allow the death of the doer is to trust that the ocean knows how to move the wave. It doesn't need your struggle, your stress, your constant interference. When you stop clinging to your tiny sense of I, a vastness enters. You feel lighter, as if the whole weight of existence has been lifted off your shoulders, because it was never yours to carry. And what comes after this death is not emptiness in the way you fear it. It is fullness, wholeness. It's as if you've been holding your breath for lifetimes, and suddenly you exhale. The relief is indescribable. You laugh, you cry, sometimes both at once, because you see how simple it all is. You realize that life doesn't need your permission to be beautiful. It already is. Only the one who has died to effort can know effortless joy. Only the one who has surrendered the I can taste what it means to be truly alive. When there's no doer left, only life remains vast, unending, radiant. Once the doer disappears, what remains is vast emptiness, and yet that emptiness is overflowing with life. Now we come to the most mysterious and beautiful part of this journey, the moment after the doer has disappeared. The moment when everything you thought you were has dissolved into silence. What remains seems like nothing, and yet it is everything. This is what I call the fullness of emptiness. It sounds like a contradiction, but life itself is a contradiction. The seed dies to become the tree. The wave disappears into the sea. The silence contains all sounds. When you drop the illusion of control, when you no longer cling to the idea of being someone, a vast space opens within you, and in that space, existence begins to sing its own song through you. At first, it feels like a great void, unfamiliar, endless, impossible to grasp. The mind becomes uneasy because it cannot measure or define it. It keeps asking, what is this? Who am I now? What should I do with this emptiness? But emptiness is not something to do anything about. It is something to rest in, to allow, to love. The moment you stop trying to fill it, you realize that it was never empty in the way you imagined. It is brimming with peace, pulsing with invisible energy, alive with everything that ever was or will be. It is the womb of creation, the silent ground from which every form arises and into which every form returns. Emptiness is not the absence of life, it is the source of life. From this stillness, action flows more beautifully than ever before, not as effort but as grace. Love arises without reason, laughter bursts without cause, understanding dawns without thought. You have not lost the world, you have found it again. But now without the burden of possession. You move through life like the wind moves through the forest, touching everything, clinging to nothing. When you no longer chase happiness, happiness begins to follow you like a shadow. When you stop trying to be someone, existence begins to express itself through you in countless ways. It dances, it sings, it paints, it creates, but there is no you behind it, only the movement of the whole. You become like a flute hollow inside, empty, open, and because you are hollow, the divine breath can flow through you and create music. The flute does not play by itself, it allows itself to be played. The emptiness of the flute is not a weakness, it is its very strength. In the same way, your emptiness is what allows life to play its eternal song through you. I have often said, the sky is the greatest teacher of truth. It appears empty, but it contains everything: the stars, the clouds, the sun, the moon, the birds, the dreams of man. It holds them all and yet remains untouched. Nothing can stain it, nothing can confine it, nothing can exhaust it. Become like the sky, vast, open, transparent. Then joy and sorrow, gain and loss come and go like passing clouds, and you remain the silent watcher of it all. You will find that the moment you stop seeking meaning, life becomes meaningful. The moment you stop chasing love, love overflows from your being. The moment you stop trying to reach peace, peace begins to breathe through you. The universe rushes to fill the space you created by doing nothing. This is the divine paradox. When you are empty, existence fills you. When you are full of yourself, existence cannot enter. When doing nothing becomes your inner posture, every act you perform becomes sacred. Every word becomes poetry. Every breath becomes prayer. You walk, but something deeper walks through you. You speak, but it is life speaking. You love, but it is love loving through you. You become a transparent window for the divine to look through. And so, doing nothing is not about abandoning the world, it is about participating in it more completely, more harmoniously, more joyfully. You no longer struggle to make things happen, you let them unfold. You no longer divide life into moments of doing and moments of resting, because now every moment is both. Action and inaction, sound and silence, movement and stillness, they all merge into one seamless flow. This is what it means to live in the fullness of emptiness, to be utterly silent within and yet completely alive without. You are both the still pond and the rippling water, both the sky and the rain, both the emptiness and the fullness. There is no separation. There never was. Now, let us come to the final and most beautiful step, not to understand, not to do, but simply to be. We began in chaos, chasing, controlling, endlessly becoming. And now we end where we should have started, in the quiet, in the breath, in the simple miracle of being. This is the freedom of doing nothing. It is not the freedom to escape life, but the freedom to live it fully without resistance. It is the kind of freedom that cannot be given to you and cannot be taken from you because it does not depend on any condition. It is the freedom that blossoms when you realize that everything you were struggling for was already happening by itself. Look around, the trees are growing, the rivers are flowing, the earth is spinning through endless space, the heart is beating, the breath is coming and going, and none of this asks for your help. Existence takes care of itself. When you begin to see this, a deep relaxation enters your being. You no longer live as a manager of life, constantly fixing, improving, and controlling. You become a participant, a witness, a guest. You sit silently and watch as the universe continues its dance. And for the first time, you see that the dance has never missed a step. Doing nothing does not mean inactivity. It means resting in trust. You may still go to work, speak, create, love, but now there is a different fragrance to your actions. They are lighter, freer, filled with presence instead of pressure. The heaviness of I must disappears, replaced by the lightness of let it happen. In that letting, you find a new kind of power, not the power of control, but the power of alignment with the flow of existence. For the next 7 days, give yourself the gift of 10 silent minutes each morning. Sit somewhere alone. Don't plan, Don't pray, don't repeat any mantra. Just sit and breathe. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Feel the heart beating on its own. Watch the mind come and go like waves on the surface of the sea. Don't interfere. Don't fight. Just allow. Watch what happens. At first, you'll feel restless, impatient. The mind will say, "This is a waste of time." But stay with it. Slowly, a stillness will descend. Not something you create, but something that arises on its own, like the dawn. And in that stillness, you'll realize that doing nothing changes everything, because it changes you. When you rest deeply in this awareness, you'll see that the world around you changes too. People will feel your calmness. Situations will no longer pull you into storms. Love will begin to flow more easily because you're no longer blocking it with tension. Life becomes simpler, softer, more intimate. Every ordinary moment shines with quiet beauty. A sip of tea, a walk in the evening air, a child's laughter, these small things become gateways to the infinite. You'll wonder how you missed them for so long.